guys, this is Casper, the boy diviner, and I just wanted to talk about. Okay, so this video, even though I'm putting it on YouTube, is basically for myself. I just want to talk about, wrapping up 2018 and talking about my plans up ahead for 2019. So I've seen many people writing about how they will do a depth year. While in my case, I feel like it would be very helpful, I'm gonna just go ahead and continue with the breadth. How do you pronounce that word? The breadth. Anyway, the width of what I'm doing and the scope of what I'm doing. I'm just gonna leave it open again next year. And I think this is because while I have ultimate goals about where I want to go and what I want to reach, there are many different ways to do it, and I haven't really found my the best way that I think I can do it. So that's not to say that any of the things I've tried so far aren't working. Well, it could be the case, which is the same for everyone, that I need to go a little deeper to be able to make it useful. The things I've learned. But again, I'm so proud of myself this year because I have done so much. I feel, in the case of my spiritual advancement on my spiritual path. So I was pretty secular 2 years ago, and I feel like this year I really tried many different things. One of the things I'm most proud about is going for a 12-day Vipassana meditation retreat here in Singapore, and that was fantastic. It was a silent retreat, so I didn't speak for about 9 to 10 days, and that was fantastic. It was so interesting, and I felt like that was the first time that I really got into meditation and learning how to do body scanning, where I felt all these vibrations all over my body. It was a great experience. Sadly, after that meditation retreat, I found myself getting distracted again by the mundane things in life. And before the meditation retreat, I could do up to 45 minutes of meditation non-stop, and now I find myself like fidgeting at 10, and I'm like, oh, I can't. So the book I'm following, The Mind Illuminated, does talk about how we shouldn't have self-blame and self-guilt, which I still have. So I'll do 10 minutes, I'll stop because I'm so tired. I feel like I'm not doing a good meditation session, and I'll blame myself for it. And each time the blame builds up, it gets harder and harder to start again. So I really need to break this bad habit in 2019. I just want to take each meditation session as it is and find the value in whenever I do this sit. So maybe one thing I want to do is, at the end of the sit, I'll tell myself, okay, this is what happened and this is what I'm learning and taking from it. I won't take that self-talk, the bad self-talk, along with me. So that's one of the things I'm thinking of doing. Another thing I did in 2019, right at the end of the year, which is maybe just yesterday, I tried doing a 5-day fast, which means no food, only water, coffee, green tea, apple cider vinegar and salt, a lot of salt, for the past 3 days. And that was quite an interesting experience. So okay, I plan to do 5 days. After the third day, it could be a willpower thing, but I felt like my body wasn't ready for it, so I just broke my fast early. The third day was terrible. When I still powered through the night. On the fourth day morning, I actually felt okay, but I decided to break it anyway because I had some social engagements where it may be hard to say no to food or socially, so I just stopped. Well, in reading some literature online and things like that, I do see people doing like 24, 48, 72, and then slowly building up to that 1 week mark. Whereas this was my first fast, and maybe aiming for 5 days was a bit of a stretch for myself. I'm still glad I did 3 days, and it was also another good experience. I feel like my body, like now I know how strong my body is and what it can take. I was hoping 3 days would be enough to break some bad habits with food, but not really. Once the 3 days ended, I was like, okay, yes, I love food. I'm gonna just eat whatever I want to eat. But I do find myself satiated much more early now, so maybe my stomach shrank a bit. I'm not sure about how my gut is feeling. I gave it a 3-day rest, so I hope it has recovered from whatever. So, I did a lot of research about fasting before I did the fast, so I don't recommend this for anyone. I would caution everyone to do their own research to see whether their body can take it and whether their goals align with their fast. For me, it was a physical and also mental and also spiritual fast, and I'm glad because during that fasting period, I also like did my first magical oil, which I have never done. So I've been trying a lot of new things. I've been reading this book called Six Ways as well, which by Aidan Walker, and I find it very interesting. I've been doing its ritual, which is to call back the power that I have. So again, I'm a dabbler, I'm a spiritual dabbler right now, and I feel like it's not time for me to stop dabbling. So next year in 2019, I'm going to continue on my path where I don't want to choose something to focus on. I have done readings with certain well-respected figures in the tarot sphere, for example, like Kelly in The Truth and Story. I bought a reading from her about some ancestor reading. We talked about how I always feel conflicted by the path that I'm on because I try to study like tarot and like Western astrology. At the same time, I'm studying feng shui and the I Ching and things like that. So sometimes I feel like they conflict. I'm not sure. Like there are five elements in the Western world. There are also five elements in the Chinese metaphysics, but they're totally different. So like things like that, and it's not a one-to-one match. Yeah. So there are some things I'm trying to figure out and find my own path. I do know people who do both East and West, and again, I'm not sure if I agree with some of their views as well. So I still feel like I'm gonna try doing everything I can. This goes for my career path as well. I have opted not to be a specialist in anything. I used to be, and then I quit, and then now I'm doing a much better job. I love my new job, my current job. Okay, I'm rambling here, and I hate rambling. Not that I hate that I ramble. So I'm gonna try to edit this or something, or maybe not. Since this is just for me to document my highlights of 2018. I'm gonna leave it as it is. Okay, so highlights: the meditation retreat, my fasting, the fact that I've decided to be more of a generalist this year. So I'm not gonna go deep. I'm just gonna go wide. I'm gonna study the RWS. I'm gonna study the Marseille. I'm gonna study the majors only. I'm gonna study the Thoth. I started reading Understanding the Thoth. Understanding Aleister Crowley's. Okay, I'm mangling the name. It's the one by Lon Milo Duquette. It's a great book. Yeah, and this year I also started to annotate in my books, which is great. I have never thought about annotating. I always love to leave like my books clean. But now that I've started annotating my books, I have started also thinking about annotating some of my tarot decks. Okay, this is really scary, but I do have a spare RWS, the first one that I bought that I don't use anymore because it's too yellow for me personally, but I realized it could be a great study deck, so that may be where I'm heading to next. I'm also taking a tarot course by Susan T. Chang, and I can't wait to complete it. It's just that again, having a breadth here and taking so many things on, it's a bit hard to focus. So I do need to learn how to do time management. So next year, time management is super important to me. Taking care of my body is super important to me. So yeah, a lot of things to focus on. I did a year ahead spread, and I find that yeah. I also am hoping next year will be where I will actually stop being a book witch and becoming a real witch. Like, I read so many rituals, I have read the Chaos Protocols. I've read so many books. I have so many spells that I want to try. It's just so much fear and so little confidence that I have in myself, and so much imposter syndrome that I don't do anything. So this next year, 2019, it will be where I will be practicing things. I studied feng shui. I have followed my master to look at houses and things like that, but all I do is look and discuss and see. I have not done it for like my close friends or people who have access to, I should be checking their houses to see what I can do to help. I've only done it for my room, and that's because I don't want to fuck up someone's house. Again, this is the imposter syndrome. I believe that I should be practicing. So next year, I will be practicing more, like doing real things, doing real magic, doing reading the 八字 for people, you know, looking at people's astrology. I really made my first steps. I made myself a love oil for 2019. I have started reading for strangers, and that was another big thing for 2019. I had the opportunity. Okay, so story time. I had a Akashic record reading from this lady on Fiverr. So like we're all just doing it for fun, right? And she said that would be a great opportunity for me at the end of November. Nothing really came out, so I was like, what is she talking about, right? In November, I was given a chance. I was given a chance to do a free booth. I was given a free booth at 2 festivals, and it's by this app called Flare, which is a Singaporean app, doing some service providing things like so we do have like a, you know, carousel, which is a Singaporean thing that we sell items on. This one focuses on service providers. So as a tarot reader, I am sort of a service provider, so I'm on the app. They invited me to have a free booth at both their festivals, and it was a great experience. It was to be honest, I know maybe some of my customers may be watching this, but that was my first time really having a booth and reading for strangers. And that was so validating. Honestly, I had so much imposter syndrome because I've been reading for friends and family, and while people tell me that I do good for them, I always felt like, oh, they're my friends, they're my family, they can't give me like harsh feedback, right? I've read for strangers, and so far all have been remote. This was my first time doing it in person, and it was fantastic. I felt so validated because people told me that what I said made sense, what I said was accurate to their situation, and what I said could help them. So I feel like I've finally made my first strides into my spiritual path practically, like I'm doing practical things. And I hope this will continue for 2019. I haven't carved out my goals as clearly as I would like. I just know the rough themes that I want to go with. So I'm hoping, that my 2019, while being wide, I'm going to concentrate on feng shui, 八字 reading courses, astrology, the tarot, especially the Thoth, because I've not really started on that too much. And I'm going to start doing more practical spells, more sigil work. I've been drawing. All the magic I've been doing is mainly like sigil work, so I'm hoping I'll do more than that next year. And I'm looking forward to 2019. And I don't know what else to say. And I feel like I'm just sharing how I feel about next year. It's a bit of a ramble video. I don't usually do ramble videos, but it's quite nice. It's quite simple because I'm just talking to myself and practicing how I express myself on camera, which is something I fucking am scared of. So I hope that this will just show another side of myself to everyone. Yes, another thing for my channel, I'm hoping next year I will be able to do more sharing more Chinese metaphysics, because I think that is what most of my subscribers are looking for, because I did that trigram video pretty early on. I want to talk about the 5 Chinese elements. I want to talk about the 10 heavenly stems and the 12 earthly branches, and things like that, in a more accessible, personal way, rather than what has been online, which is like PowerPoint slides, things like that, which are all very helpful. So what I'm going to talk about will not cover anything occult or anything too far away from the mainstream, because everyone has their own path, everyone has their own belief. I would say in Chinese metaphysics, it's like they all come from the same books. It's just that how people interpret them can be very different. So I don't want to stir the pot too much as of yet. I'm not like Bennabelle Wen, who I can, Tinkering Bell or like all that. I don't have enough knowledge to do anything like that. So that's my plan, to share more about what I learned in a more accessible manner, and things that maybe have been already online, just in a more in my way. How I do. Alright, before I end this video where I rambled and didn't really make sense for most of it, so just some reflection. Maybe in future I should do a script or something where I have at least a list of points. I did have it in my head, but it wasn't enough. I'm gonna do a quick reading for 2019 for myself, and to see if there's any advice for anyone who watches this video, for the rest of the year, 2019. So the Kawaii Tarot, tell me. What advice do you have for us? 19. Alright. This is the card. Oh, 10 of Wands. That's so cute. So, the 10 of Wands reverse is, for me, is telling me, no, you can take on more. There is no such thing as being limited, and why you may feel like you're overwhelmed is because of a time management thing. It's not a effort or a energy thing, you know. For now, you are doing okay, and if you want to squeeze anything more, all I need to do is manage my time better. And yeah, I've always been a high performer, you know, at work, at in school. It's just that right now I feel so lethargic because I don't have really a good planner system. I have bought a planner. I wanted to make a planner video, but the fact that I've procrastinated through December, where I started to do it, just shows something. So I'll get that done. I'll get my system ready, and then I'll talk about it. All right. I think that's what the deck is telling me to do. All right. Nice meeting you guys. I hope this video was okay. If you have anyone else who doesn't agree with the depth year, not that they don't agree, who is not gonna do a depth year next year, and they're gonna have a breadth year like me, a wide year like me, a huge scope year like me, let me know. I'm just interested to see what are you juggling on your plates. To be honest, I do see some people who say that they're going to do a depth year, and then, wow, they have so many topics. Not a big deal, it's just something I noticed, and I'm not criticizing them. I'm glad they can go deep in so many topics. For me, I wouldn't say that I could, and that's why I'm going for just wide and like maybe 3 cm deep. Yeah. Hey, see you guys. Bye.